Hi friends, I hope you're well this week. I know these days are stretching on, and as school starts and children around us are going back to school without going back to school, settling in at home for remote learning again, and for families and parents who are trying to help them do that, this is still a hard season. It's hard not to know when the end of it will come. And we are all in this together. And everyone is doing the best they can, I know. Last weekend, in addition to watching our worship service online, I watched the worship service of Menlo Church. You know, this is our neighbor church in Menlo Park and a number of other locations in the Silicon Valley area. And you may also know that their longtime senior pastor, John Ortberg, has just resigned, and this was his farewell address to his congregation. So I wanted to watch. I think of both John and Nancy Ortberg as sort of friends, a little more than acquaintances to me, and I think of their church as a neighbor in the same business that we are in as the church in this community, and I wish them all well. I was curious, of course, to hear what John would say after a difficult time in his own life and in his congregation's life. And of course, I wondered, how would he say this goodbye at an awful and sort of awkward time in a way that was graceful and that I knew he would. And he did it. He did a really graceful, beautiful farewell sermon to his congregation. And he said something that will stick with me and that I want to share with you today. He quoted from a philosopher whose name is Dallas Willard. Dallas Willard is one of those very famous philosopher theologians in the evangelical Christian tradition. Kind of like you hear me quoting Richard Rohr all the time. Dallas Willard is who more evangelical pastors tend to quote in the same way. And I have read some things by Dallas Willard, and I think he too is brilliant, even though his theology is not quite mine. He has thought and written and said many things that I respect and admire very much. And John Ortberg used on Sunday a quote from Dallas Willard that is really sticking with me. He quoted Willard as saying, "What it means to be a person of faith is to know that your circumstances do not control either your character or where you are headed, who you are becoming. Your circumstances do not control your character or who you are becoming." I love that. What it means, what it says to me, is what I know to be true. That we believe that there is a God who is bigger even than our circumstances. That no matter what happens to us, it is our being in connection with that God. Having faith, finding ourselves, our deepest identity in that relationship that makes us who we are and that outlasts every changing circumstance in our lives. I hope you know that is true for you. I know it's true for me. I know it's true for you, as well as for John Ortberg and our friends at Menlo Church and people of faith everywhere. But I wonder if you will just think on that a little bit in the coming week. Who are you that even in this strange set of circumstances, this strange time, will hold on and be yourself no matter what? We are in this together, and that makes me very glad.